Hey everybody, Kyle here, and welcome to my channel. Some of you might recognize me from a different YouTube channel, and I want you to know that going forward, all the videos are going to be getting posted to this channel here. So be sure to sub up so that you can be notified for future videos. And boy, is it good to be back, baby. Great to see you all once again. So today, I'm going to take a look at the price action of THETA, as not too long ago, THETA hit an all-time high and has since gone into some corrective behavior. The question is will THETA find its footing, and when will it be ready to move to an all-time high once again? I'm going to pull up this chart and show you what I'm looking at. Alright, THETA on the daily. So I'll start today's analysis by toggling into the price action itself. And for those of you that were following along with my my videos from the other channel, you'll know that I was looking for this corrective behavior to start taking place, as there were some warning shots that the price action was firing off, signaling that THETA was likely to go into a consolidation phase, similar to this consolidation back here, perhaps even similar to this consolidation as well. And THETA is certainly doing that, and actually showing quite a bit of strength as it consolidates. So basically, first positive things that I can see is that at the time of recording, THETA is not only opening daily candle bodies above the 21, but also above the 10 simple moving average. Seeing that the notable moving averages here are very much fanned away from one another, I would be looking for the moving averages to begin to contract upon each other, kind of like we saw in this overall consolidation here. And as you can see, that can take several days to play out. So there could be some patience required with THETA right now. It doesn't have to be that way, but if it's going to behave anything like we saw in here, we could be looking at an overall greater consolidation before THETA would be ready to resolve this new range between these liquid zones. So THETA recently did hit an all-time high, and it gave us this new liquid zone to pay attention to, and it has a bottom side coming in around $2.40, and it has a top side coming in around $2.51. For me to feel like THETA has resolved this range to the upside, I would need to see daily candle body closures above the top side of that liquid zone, as well as being accompanied by very strong volume. As you can see right now, volume's just tapering off as it consolidates, which is very normal behavior, and it's also signaling that THETA would like to build a stronger base at a higher level, and overall, I find this very healthy for the long term. So, for anybody holding THETA for the long term, these are the kinds of things you're going to want to see along the way, because typically things take the stairs up and the elevator down. Very cliche. It's like a very meme-y kind of statement that I hear all the time through, the crypto space and other markets. But it is relatively true. I mean, you see these massive rises up high and then these great big dumps to the downside. And it definitely ends up being something that's not for the squeamish. So overall, this is looking very constructive. I'm actually quite glad to see this kind of behavior versus just continuing to rip and rip and rip. I don't want to see projects like this begin to take on the characteristics of a pump and dump. That's not healthy. A lot of people don't really get hurt under those circumstances, and you just don't want to see that kind of shade being cast upon a project like this. But down below, the volume is contracting. That's good as it consolidates. And as long as it's closing these daily candle bodies above the 10 and the 21, this is all very strong to me and looking really good. If THETA gets any daily candle body closures below this bottom liquid zone here, with the bottom side coming in at approximately $1.66, then THETA will be likely entering this range here and would look to consolidate in there. I still wouldn't be bearish on THETA if it does do that. For me to get overall bearish on THETA, it has to get a long ways down. I mean, it'd have to get down on daily candle body closures below 36 cents, literally. I mean, for me, my buy signal was way back here at a higher level, but the overall macro, the macro structure of this is extremely bullish right now. Being that Bitcoin is trading sideways currently, and we're coming into a weekend, it's normally when Bitcoin goes sideways at higher levels where altcoins have a chance to catch up on their USD pairings, and sometimes their Satoshi pairings as well. And so, toggling over the Bitcoin chart, if Bitcoin can stay sideways between these two liquid zones right there, then I think THETA, among many other major notable alts, are going to have a fantastic opportunity to, to do their consolidations or even break to all-time highs. But being that THETA is in this overall consolidation, I'm not looking for that to happen. It could happen, but I am looking for an overall greater consolidation phase like that one down there. So we'll keep an eye on that for sure. So toggling down to the RSI, the RSI had this bearish divergence, and that I would say has played out, being that the price action came and literally wicked off the 30 simple moving average. And also for those of you that were following on the other channel, that I use the 30 simple moving average for slope analysis, and being that it's so aggressively sloped to the upside, I'm not surprised by this wick that came off it. often if there's high frequency trading bots involved, you can tell if they're programmed to these notable moving averages. And I've handpicked these moving averages for that reason. Well, a couple of reasons. One, they typically come into confluence with major fib levels, but also a lot of bots will typically be programmed to those as well. And it's very quickly to find out if the bots and algorithms are on the buy side of these things. And then of course establishing these liquid zones. Now with these liquid zones, they're part of my bread and butter when it comes to trading support and resistance. And when you're looking at these liquid zones, say in Bitcoin or in traditional stocks, it's usually where you're able to find a lot of institutional order flow and big dynamic traders putting on positions, whether they're long or short. Typically are found very aggressively in those areas on daily charts and even beyond. And, in traditional assets, it can be found on weekly charts, making them that much more powerful. But being that Theta was conceived in 2017, it has 3 years of data here to go by. So I have no problem looking to the daily chart to establish these liquid zones for a project like this. And as you can see, since it hit the all-time high, it's just come down and it has not closed any daily candle bodies below the 21, but not below this liquid zone either, which tells me that I've got a pretty good read of things right here. Not a crystal ball, but it tells me that I am mapping this correctly, and this is going to give me a statistical probability and edge over the market as to where price action could be moving forward in the future. So back down to the RSI. RSI is kind of a nothing burger. It has been kicked out of the bullish control zone. The exponential moving average is sloped to the downside. Last time the RSI tested that, it was rejected. So it is under a bit of pressure there, but being in the overall greater consolidation, I'm not worried about that. This could work its way into a bullish reset. Maybe not the best term to be using for that, but in other words, basically looking to cool off, to reset itself, to have plenty of room to run to the upside. And I do like to see that during consolidation phases, because if Theta is able to reposture itself and start grinding out the bottom side of this liquid zone, and if the RSI has tons of room to run, it just makes for the perfect storm from a price action perspective that Theta is ready for another meteoric rise. But it looks to me that we're all going to have a little bit of patience here. Doesn't have to be that way. Let's keep an eye on it. But I'm not seeing this, it's literally dead center of the overall greater range here. And until it gives me any daily candle body closures, it has more work to do to the downside. I'd have to see daily candle body closures below the 10, 21, and the bottom side of this liquid zone here. And as you can see, last time it tested the 30 bullish response, and now the 30 is coming into confluence with that liquid zone. And you can see right here, as it tried to get back to that liquid zone again, the 21 was right there to defend it. So Theta has a lot of work to do in order to roll over and be looking overall bad. And of course, I'm just going to keep my eyes on this chart and let it speak to me to make decisions going forward in the future. I can see down here stochastics are pointed up and getting back to the bullish control zone, signaling that buy pressure is re-entering. But again, massive consolidation here. Perhaps we see some legs up. Maybe it makes its way down to the 21 again. But overall, just looking like consolidation. Down here at the MACD is pointed down south. But that is I can't use the word expect, but it's not unusual to see. Look at this. When I go on the daily chart and I gently caress my mouse out, look at this gigantic island on the histogram of positive momentum. Of course, this thing's going to cool down. But it'll be interesting to see days when this island looks like these islands back here, and that's what could happen if Theta decides to rip its way to all-time highs. And of course, Theta's got some interesting things coming up in the future with tfuel 3.0, lots of things going for it. A good advisory team. All the claims that Theta is making, the partnerships with Samsung. I know there's some people out there that find these things controversial. To each their own. People are allowed to have different points of views, and I love the discussions in the comment section down below. Just keep it respectful. I'm a trader first and foremost, an investor, and I never do that without a chart, even if the fundamentals are looking good. But based on what I can see, Theta has a working platform. It was just another awesome thing going for it. And so long as Theta continues to deliver on these promises and these partnerships, with the founders of YouTube being on their, I believe they're on the advisory. How good that is, I don't know. It seems like a really cool thing. It really, truly does. But you guys let me know down in the comment section below what your thoughts are on it, where you think this thing's going to go. I personally think so long as the bull market continues on, which it is overwhelmingly signaling that it will at the time of recording, I think Theta could go to much, much higher levels than it's trading at right now. This chart's been fantastic since I've been covering it, and I'm going to be keeping a very watchful eye over this going forward. So anyways, you guys, it's great to be back. It's great to see you. Hopefully you got some value to this, and have a powerful day.